Other interesting cultural news, you have a school showing a climate change cartoon with porn in it. Which, what reason number is this? Is this reason 2,958,735,421 to homeschool your kids? Because you have no idea what they're going to be shoving in front of their face, and more often than not, some might argue says, what is it, maybe 50-50 split between being mentally vacuous and morally vacuous? But I partially digress. This was thanks to Libs of TikTok, and she says, quote, school in Bellevue School District showed this horrifying climate change video to K through 10 or K through 5th grade students that includes a polar bear watching adult content. Trying to keep this moderately family friendly, depicting police as rats and claimed we're going to die from climate change. A district spokesperson said the video was, quote, not approved as a district resource. If that's the case, why was this shown to the children? Why do these mistakes keep happening? Oh, it's simple, because they're not mistakes. They're in doing it, and then they're like most evil politicians and many people. It's the same old thing we've seen for decades. First they say, this isn't happening, it doesn't exist. Then they say, well, it's happening, but it's not really widespread. Then they admit, oh yeah, it's happening, and you should be okay with it. Then they say, oh, this is happening, and you should accept it. Then they say this is happening, you should embrace it. And then further and further until the Overton window is shifted so far, everyone who doesn't want craziest things is now considered alt-right. Now, this is rudimentary cartooning, granted, it's better than the stick figures I do. Now, it's painful. It's about a little under 3 minutes, and the music is But let's see. So you have a rhino. How's that? Chicken and a zebra driving cars. All right. And a pufferfish. Pufferfish is smoking. All right. And then you have gorillas drinking a Starbucks. Now, cheetahs, oh, this is a fun fact, or it's gotta be coincidence. It almost looks like Cheetah Men for the NES, which is only known for being a ridiculously comically bad game. But I won't interrupt too much. Maybe, probably not. How strong's the feeling when we dive? So you have a polar bear at work in a cube farm. Well, so you have a dolphin. Okay, how unrealistic is this? So you have animals working in a cube farm. You have a dolphin next to a parrot, and you have a polar bear, an elephant, a giraffe, and maybe a small smoky bear, or like a raccoon. Then you have the polar bear watching two papa bear polar bears making another one. Again, this is shown at a public school. Across the ocean of my mind, I wonder. What? You have a dolphin drinking a Coca-Cola, the small hat. The dolphin is obese. Healing with the soul, all my senses. Good marketing in terms of Coca-Cola. When you see that iconic bottle shape and the red label, again, doesn't technically say the word Coca-Cola, but you think of the brand. This dolphin throws the drink off into the lake. Whenever you and I would die. And then you have people depicted as like ghouls, and they're chewing on the little 6-pack of rings. The person tries to eat the bottle. Maybe they're from Oregon and they're on copious amounts of drugs. Not out of the realm of possibility. Across the ocean. So 2 people ate the bottles and died. Like, I remember back in the day, they used to tell us that turtles always choke on those little 6-pack rings. I'm not sure how many animals are actually choking on plastic bottles. Ocean of my mind, but in the end I drown. You push me down. Polar bear's signing something. The ghoul family is sitting on the, an iceberg? So sad. Oh, jeez. Looks like they're at the, the little wastegate, like the Simpsons, and it hits them in the face, they dissolve into nothingness. Well, the gorillas are using machinery. They've advanced quite a bit. They're destroying the rainforest with all the people are. Oh, hilarious, because, again, the real world, there's a lot of rainforest conservation, and it actually is growing. And one of those things where I wonder if they'll actually show them saving them, like giving them free food and homes. More people eating bottles. A gopher? That's kind of funny. So a gopher is using a bulldozer, which I bet they really wish they could, or a beaver. You make a lot of damage to those machineries. Humans are now mermaids. Okay. Oh, jeez. Wait, what? So then I was gonna say, the female swam into the sick pack ring, got tangled in. Music is almost as bad as Taylor Swift. Okay, perhaps I'm too bombastic and nothing's that bad. I apologize. Went too far. Save the human. We only have one Earth. This is supposed to be a serious, like, commercial. Wait, so a cat is sitting petting a human, and then they're buying a bunch of stuff on the internets. Okay. Including more and more. A lot of smokestacks. Maybe this place in China. Again? How many people are gonna choke on a... Again, so all these humans are apparently choking on like a... It's not a 2-liter, it's the... What is it, a 20-ounce? Again, I don't know. I'll buy soda. I'm guessing it's like the mini... Not mini. Like the medium-sized plastic sugar... high fructose corn syrup servicing device. So, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4... All these people keep choking on it? Has an animal ever choked on one of those bottles? I know we've heard the ring thing for decades. But how many are really choking because of a giant bottle? It's kind of sad if it is. It's like, is that a thing? Oh, so at least it's a little bit more than halfway done. That takes dedication. So, again, I'm not sure this is possible. There's like a whole field, well, is it a whole ocean of, interestingly enough, not polar bears, but like grizzly bears, now drinking so many plastic containers of high fructose corn syrup delivery systems that the ocean is actually filling up with them, and it looks like they're pushing themselves up with it. Wait, who's flying the helicopters? So I guess animals can do that too. Drink type 2. Taste for new generation. More smokestacks. Hey, there we go. We got the smokestacks, which statistically speaking, one of the countries that makes the most pollutions. Oh yeah, it's China, and they're not slowing down their economy or doing anything. Like, it's got, what is it? Some pigs smoking cigars. I didn't know they did that. Got lots of champagne. Pig with some champagne and a flow chart. That's how you know he means business. You got one of those fancy charts with the... I mean, how long... My tech company's been in, what, 7 years of business? I've never actually seen anyone in a presentation with all those BS charts where you have the bar graph just go up and up and up. It's one of those cliche things where everyone talks about profits like that. Have you ever seen that in the actual workplace? Nevertheless, we'll get back to this video. He's wearing suspenders. That's how I know it's an old-timey theme, I guess. People, what is this? Climate crisis, only 10,000 humans left. Interestingly enough, I can't help but think these are the same people who actually want to get rid of a lot of people. Because people emit carbon, don't you know? Who brought to coin the famous term of that you are the carbon they want to eliminate? Partially digress, though. Almost done. Oh, someone says it's a hoax in the comments, and it zooms in on the O, and it brings you to that family standing on the iceberg. Oh, it melts. At least the animation's kind of good. It reminds me of, was it Flowbots or Flow? There's a famous song when I was growing up called Handlebars. I think it is Flowbots. Very similar graphic anime design. Oh, finally got some Texas representation. I think those are armadillos driving the bulldozer crane devices. Statue dedicated to Homo sapiens. Wow, that was painful. Although good for brainwashing kids, I'm sure it's moderately effective. Kids love rhinos who drive in cars, I suppose. Yep. Yet another reason to not go to public school. And one of the first comments comes from Liv's TikTok saying more info. Says it was Bellevue School, show kids controversial fair adult content. Got 393 likes. Again, the original video got, I think it didn't go as viral as I thought it would. Got 129,000 views and 1.9 thousand likes. One of the first comments comes from Gunther Eagleman saying someone needs to be held accountable, getting 122 likes. So unfortunately, these days, a private person will probably get a raise and accolades. Planet of Memes, they did not respond in meme form, but nevertheless, they say, quote, why can't we get back to the foundations of learning with children instead of trying to push culture and woke ideologies on kids? Getting 63 likes, which, well, teachers teach what they want to teach and what they love. These days, it seems to be mostly ideology. Planet of Memes also says this is creepy for little kids, getting 20 likes. And it is, yeah. It's meant to scare and intimidate them into buying into this, using emotional rhetoric up the wazoo to buy into this ideology. Again, the whole theme of the video, I mean, look at the colors. I mean, get rid of that terrible music. I mean, all the colors and all the graphic designs are very... Oh, I finally remember what he was reminding me of. It was there's a music videos by, the band is called Gorillaz, but it's spelled improperly, I believe. Remember they had a famous song called Clint Eastwood when I was a kid. It's so famous it was even on the cover of an iPod, which used to be a thing. It's in that very dark animation style as well. Like, you wouldn't show this... A normal parent would not show this to a kid. Let's just say it's the antithesis of VeggieTales. One of the other comments comes from Saffras84 said, quote, because of woke agenda, they're pushing how far they can get until the parents flip their lids. If I were a parent, I would be at the school board demanding firings. This is not acceptable. We need to push back against their depravity. Getting 150 likes. However, under the current DOJ, you'd probably be labeled as a terrorist. Because remember that happened to parents, was it Q2 last year? Which shows you the priorities of the U.S. government. How they've become. Holleranda Bryden, interesting name, says, quote, experts unable to explain the astronomical increase in anxiety among children. Yeah, 201 likes for that. Patriot Poitman, good name, says, tired of this liberal woke BS. And it's a picture of good old bald eagle with the American flag behind it, saying, quote, raise your wings if you're tired of this BS, getting 35 likes. Let's see. Rosetta Curso says they should have just had them watch the original version of Animal Farm instead, getting 50 likes, which, well, true, but that book is about how big government is evil and all mentally vacuous and morally vacuous. Public schools want children to think the antithesis. They want them to think that big government is the solution to all their problems. So they would never teach them about the fine works of art of George Orwell, such as Animal Farm and 1984, two of the most brilliant books, I would say, written, yeah, I'd say of all time. It was scary how close he called it in terms of he wrote these books obviously decades ago, and unfortunately modern tyrannical governments are actually more evil and worse than the book actually described. A lot of people, the most, not famous, but a very popular quote from George Orwell, or where they reference him as saying like, I warned you of this crap, but this wasn't supposed to be a roadmap. Now that did get 50 likes. Red Wave Press says, Washington is about as liberal BS state as it comes. Stop sending your kids to public schools if you can help it. Getting 53 likes. Romanti says, get your children out of liberal indoctrination etc. Getting 24 likes. False Flag says, this is disgusting propaganda meant to traumatize children into believing eating bugs and paying taxes will change the weather. Which, yeah, I'd love to see one instance where giving the government more money has fixed something. Seems to be the most inefficient way of using funds ever. Then you have the picture of Bobby Hill from King of the Hill pushing a sign in the window that says public schools are indoctrination and re-education centers. And 34 likes. See here. Trying to see if there's any contrarian statements. Again, there are some people who think this is going to be a great video, very compelling, and you should use fear to brainwash the kids. Let's see, a little more. FTMFW says, Bellevue, in the communist state of Washington, we should let Canada, the wannabe country, take Washington off our hands for free. Which, I mean, Canada is even worse in terms of being tyrannical and stealing your guns and not allowing you to defend yourself. I did get 5 likes. So, not too surprised. Will there be any ramifications for these teachers or the school district? No, probably not, because, again, the location. Should the parents do something? Yeah, 110%. Will anything happen? Unfortunately, perhaps I'm just jaded, but when it comes to, public schools and teachers being held accountable, yeah, probably the odds are, not so much. But, as always, let me know in the comments. It'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers at the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback. letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.